I did a comfort consult. It was the end of the summer last year, and I think it was it's like a 2800 brick home on a crawl space, mainly first floor. Then there's like 2 dormer rooms upstairs. House was slightly over a 1-to-1. So I recommended electrification. He declined it. House is on a ventilated crawl.
So before you go any further, so he missed out on what?
On reheat.
So you missed out on reheat dehumidification by going with a hybrid.
Because humidity was important prior. Dehumidification was important, right? So we ended up, ductwork was an issue. The supply trunk line was only sized for about 800 CFM. It was ductboard trunk line in the crawl space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So give options, and he wanted 5-stage equipment. So since we weren't electrifying, he at least wanted to go dual fuel. So it was 2-ton 5-stage or 3-ton 5-stage. Due to ductwork, we went with a 2-ton 5-stage and a 60,000 BTU gas furnace is an MN7. So fully modulating gas furnace and 2-ton 5-stage.
Because
so we put that in
for the 3-ton.
Yeah, we put that in as we're putting the and then all the flexes and the flex branch lines in the crawl space were super saggy. They had 12 branch lines or whatever, and the installers went and bought 12 boxes of flex and didn't cut a single branch line. So we pulled all of them tight. Yeah, we pulled all of them, and then we dampered all of them. And as we were doing that, inside of the trunk line was like coated with growth, like the whole thing, all the way through. So I give them the option. Then we could like it. And like I said, I recommended in the comfort consult to encapsulate the crawl space. And he said no. So I said, okay, well, we sent him pictures, showed him pictures inside the trunk line when it happened. And I was like, well, this is here. What do you want to do with it? We could leave it if you want, or now's the time to replace it. We're here. So we can like it. I'll put in the same size trunk line you have, or he has like a lintel wall. I was like, we could redesign this thing and resize it, and I can extend it past your lintel wall and turn it and cut down some branch lines or whatever, right? Like a redesign of the trunk line. He wanted to like it because it was cheaper. And we went back with ductboard because it was still a ventilated space, and he didn't want the sheet metal to condensate. So then wintertime, we do all that. And his wife had really bad allergies. We do all of that. His wife comes off her allergy medicine. Like, it fixes her allergies.
Works.
Wintertime.
Oh, wow.
Wintertime comfort, perfect. No problems in the wintertime. Summertime rolls around, so far, like early summertime, good. Then we started hitting like consecutive, like 94, 95 degree days.
So stop here.
And in the middle.
Wait. So that everybody watching understands, your design temp is 91.
Yeah.
And so you're hitting consecutive 94s. Okay,
yeah,
keep going.
In the hot peaks of the day, the house would slip. So the main floor would slip. I think it was 3 or 4 degrees or something like that. And then the upstairs would as well. And then but the humidity in the home was like 60% humidity in the house. And this is AC running all day long. Not shutting off.
Continuous. So continuously pissing. And it wasn't
and the humidity's still that high in the home.
Yeah.
So I go back out there. I kind of started from scratch, like started from square one. Went over everything with them. Talked to them about the humidity, how it was. I ended up getting in the crawl space with the psychrometers and just reading what the humidity was in the crawl space, which it was high in the crawl. And then I got out of the crawl and I went to him, and so then I just asked him, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "Well, I don't want it to slip, and I don't want the humidity to be high in the house." And I was like, "Okay, well, this is a 2-ton unit running all day long. It still can't pull the humidity in your house below 60%." Because the maintenance tech went out and did did the PM. He took a bunch of pictures of like humidity and stuff then. So I had it what it was at a different day versus what it was live when I was there, and it was consistently at like 60 or higher inside the house. And I was like, oh well, say I put in a 3-ton unit, it will satisfy, but your humidity is still going to be high. So then we had a conversation of like root cause versus symptoms and all of that. And then initially
Yeah,
at the
your
end of that
humidity might
visit,
be higher. If it satisfies and shuts off, your humidity might be higher.
Exactly. So then the end of that conversation, which I thought originally was going to be rough. Like he was going to be like, "I'm pissed. I just spent 20 grand, ripped this unit out. I want my old one." That kind of thing. Ended up being, I give them doing the comfort consults. I have companies that I work with that do like crawl space encapsulations. So I got him in touch with those people. He got 2 other quotes from different companies, and then got some quotes for spray foam for the upstairs. And he's encapsulating his crawl space, and got a dehumidifier, and then he's going to DIY the upstairs.
Oh, that's awesome. So he's pretty happy.
Yeah, I think it went well. Because he's going to live there. He's going to live there forever. So
yeah, and thank goodness
it was
you had documented all of those things that had been offered to him that he declined, or he could have just been one of those unhappy clients that most companies just try to throw money at until the people go away. And a lot of times that problem doesn't even get solved. So the people go away after the company's throwing a bunch of money at it. The people go away unhappy.
And I think the way that the process did it and then explained it all to him, because he understood the situation very well. Like you put in, and the other thing was his duct pressure on a 2-ton system was like 0.6, pushing like a 800 CFM. So again, you put in a 3-ton unit, now your duct pressure is increasing. So it's like
yeah. What are you going to do?
You need to go.
You're going to burn up ECMs?
After the source. Yeah, you need to go after the source of
the moisture,
of the humidity issue, which will also benefit in air sealing as well.
And then your comfort, you won't mind that the house slides a couple of degrees if it slides a couple of degrees, because the house will be dry and comfortable.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's awesome, really, right? Isn't that a great story?
Yes. I guess when you like hearing you tell the story, I just imagine all the people who like to scream, oh well, what happens if things don't pan out and you just get sued and you lose all this money and blah blah blah. And it's like this is an example of like how that actually
plays out.
Like if you actually do what you're supposed to do and you handle it correctly, like that's what it is, because you gave him the options. He said, I'm going to pick this, this, and this. I'm going to go against a few things you said. And it played out. They're getting what they want. They're happy with it. It's not this immediate like fighting battle of like everybody trying to point fingers at one another and just fighting it out in court. Like that's what happens if you handle it extremely poorly and the homeowners feel like that's what they have to do. But by establishing that relationship and doing it that way, they don't feel like that they're having to go to war when they, discuss things with you and deal with these things. And so that was great. That was amazing.
And it wasn't so much as a point in the finger type thing, which was kind of surprising. It was more of it was more turning to me and asking like, okay, so now
What should I do now?
what do we do? What do we
Now
do
what's
now?
the next step? I remember a year ago you said if there continue to be problems, we would get together again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now you're calling me to get together with you.
Yeah.
It's
And
just a wonderful
you know that,
creative relationship.
yeah.
yeah. And that all is possible when you don't go in and overpromise and underdeliver. I mean, that's
When you're
really
the
like,
guide and not the hero.
yeah, if you go in and you're like, oh, if you go with me, we'll solve all your problems. We'll do this and we'll do that and blah blah blah. Like if that's how you go in, that's why people get mad when you don't live up to those, unrealistic expectations.
Exalted.
Yeah, when you go in it the way that, you did, Austin, and things don't pan out because you couldn't do everything that you wanted to do. Well, this is how it plays out. It's hey, we're calling back because we're going, oh man, that thing you warned us about, it happened. What do you think we should do now? Rather than, hey, you did all this work and now it's not working anymore and blah blah blah. It's night and day difference. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and just coming the way that you present it, it's kind of like you said, not over promising, under delivering, like giving. Reedie hit on it a couple weeks ago when he was talking about something with, I believe, his daughter with her knee or something. A doctor giving her like odds of success with the surgery.
Yeah.
And I feel like it worked out well because, like, especially with me already recommending the crawl space, needing it prior, and then revisiting it again, and then going over like the leakage on the home and having that report there. Because like when I got there, the first thing we did was sit down and go revisited the report and went over it, which I feel like that was super helpful. So like even if we go to path A and still have a report like that, hypothetically somebody does call back a year later, then you could revisit that call, I guess in theory, and revisit that initial report instead of starting from like scratch, or starting from scratch.
Yeah.
But you would already, I guess, it's already documented in 2.0, the path A. And me and Ted were talking about that a little bit the other day. Some people just don't read that what to expect email, right? And maybe if they read it,
send it though anyway, right? Because you can always point back to it and say, hey, what more can I do? I asked you.
Yeah.
You disregarded it. Oh, jeez. This was a good meeting. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Appreciate it, guys.